So, good morning. And what I'm going to talk about now for the next few weeks is what conscious partners know. And I'm making this distinction. I would characterize most relationships, certainly ours was before we started doing the Imago Relationship Therapy, they're unconscious, old brain, reactive. Unconscious, old brain, reactive. So, for example, if my partner came on too strong, my reactive response was to shut down. Well, if I look at that, pretty counterproductive, but I did it for a long time. And so what I try to do with couples in the office is help them to become more conscious, use your new brain, your thinking brain, and become more intentional. So in their book, Doing Imago Relationship in the Space Between, Harville and Helen listed 25 sort of statements that would characterize a conscious relationship. So see how they apply to you, okay, in your relationship. So there's 25. I'll start with the first 5 today, and we'll work our way through them. But so 1, 2, and 3 we've talked about quite a bit, but 4 and 5 not so much. So 1, safety is non-negotiable for thriving in the relationship. In a conscious relationship, you just realize it has to be safe. If you don't feel safe, you'll defend yourself. 2, Imago dialogue creates equality and safety and facilitates connecting. Number 3, negativity arouses anxiety and disconnects them from each other. They keep all negativity and judgment out of their transactions. Now, 4 and 5, we haven't talked about so much. So 4 is both of them have an original innocence that was lost in their childhood challenges, which occurred at approximately the same developmental stage. And 5, the conscious agenda then of their relationship is to meet the unmet childhood needs that they each brought into the relationship. Okay? So I'll walk you through these. So number 1, safety is non-negotiable for thriving in their relationship. And we've talked about that. Our old reptilian brain, its job is to keep us alive. And when it senses danger, it goes into the fight, flight, or freeze mode. Our old brain has a 500 million year track record. You're not going to change it. So we've talked a lot about that. Safety is non-negotiable. In a conscious relationship, you just have to keep it safe. Number 2, Imago dialogue creates equality and safety and facilitates connecting. And we've said the structure of the Imago dialogue takes issues out of the power struggle and then ensures safety. It doesn't make one right and one wrong. Here's what's going on for me. And then when safety happens, connection can happen. Number 3, we talked a lot about this too. Negativity arouses anxiety and disconnects them from each other. They keep all negativity and judgment out of their transactions. Negativity causes disconnect. What you want is connection. And so we've talked about this. Your relationship consists of not just the two of you, but the two of you plus the space between you. And in our quantum universe, what we know is that we want connection. And if the space between becomes too negative, then people start to avoid. Why would they go into a toxic space? So in a conscious relationship, there's no blame, shame, or criticism in the space between. Now, 4 and 5, we've not looked at so much, but 4 is both of them have an original innocence that was lost in their childhood challenges, which occurred at approximately the same developmental stage. And I think we'd all agree we all had challenges growing up. And psychologists tell us that all children go through certain developmental stages. There are different theories about these stages, but there's agreement about the concept. And think about it, because our parents weren't perfect, your parents weren't perfect, I'm not perfect. We all went through various challenges as children. And Harville experiences that typically 2 adults get together that were challenged in roughly the same developmental stage. So the first stage is the sort of connecting attachment stage, 0 to 18 months roughly. And so if I was, my main challenges were there, I tend to get hooked up with somebody whose main challenges were there, or the exploration stage, which is the 18 months to 3 years. You know, it's not likely I'll get hooked up with somebody that was more challenged, say, in the teenage years. That's just their experience from working with so many couples. And then, but then 5, feeding from that, The conscious agenda of the relationship is to meet the unmet childhood needs that they each brought into the relationship. Your partner's not perfect, you're not perfect, so we all have unmet needs. We all have unmet needs. And I think this is an important one. And think about it, it's not what you typically find in a romantic, in the literature on romantic love. But in a conscious relationship, we recognize that, yeah, we're all bent out of shape a bit. All of your needs, all of your partner's needs weren't met 100% growing up. And again, this is not about blaming parents. All parents do the best they can do, but we just haven't figured it out yet. So in a conscious relationship, the purpose then of your relationship is to meet as best you can the needs of your partner that weren't met the first time around. And for me, the added bonus of this one is, as I stretch to meet Chris's needs, I really am healing parts of myself that got stunted growing up too. So for me, it really is a win-win. Anyway, the idea of what we're looking at for the next few weeks is what does a conscious relationship look like, and what do conscious partners know? Okay? Have a great day. Thanks.